So, let's talk a bit more about Waycrest Manor. This is a plus 27 on a fortified week. This is basically the route I would recommend, something like it. And last on pull and more or less on CD. Go over to the video. What we're doing is we're actually skipping this, I'm pretty sure, but I would recommend taking one soul essence into. Play it with you and assign someone to kick that. We're going triple captain here. I think I'm not taking the witch in just to keep it safer. Would be really nice to kill. Okay, we are taking the witch in, and it's actually the caster witch, so it's kind of insane that we're actually living this. I would not recommend taking the witch in. I would recommend pulling everything else and then moving back. Like right now we're dealing damage towards massive damage reduction on everything. Already just doing it without the witch is more than fine. That means you would have 3 captains to kick and not too much incoming damage. And it's questionable which kick you want to prio on the witch as well, because the volley shouldn't one-shot people, as you can see now. Not sure if someone actually got it, but Soul Bolt is a one-shot, whereas the volley would usually leave people at around 5-10%. So Curse of Tongues is definitely helping a lot here. Well, we're alright. Shouldn't be living this, it feels like. On a paladin this would be way easier, but again, I would recommend not taking the witch even back. Unless you have a figure kick comp with let's say monk healer or something, then fine. Moving forward, pulling the acolytes and frogs and pull them back here. Pulling them to stack up in the middle. The issue with these is the blight toad's pool that they leave when they die, a bit bigger than usual. I definitely feel some aggro issues in general, like from the start of a pull. It is quite annoying. You really want to kick the infected thorns and make sure you have disease dispels. When you get disoriented now, they also prio other people in your. Try to not let it happen. This drain essence, you can reflect the initial cast, it's not much damage, it's about 150k maybe on this key level, maybe 200k on this key level. And you can probably let it channel on you, doesn't hurt very much. Why am I not avatar? Again, boss. Always look out for the main witch's cast on you and try to reflect that. What I coordinated here is I just solo kick the main witch at all times, and everyone else could freely kick the other witches. Means I let 1 out of 3 casts through basically, but they kick the other witches. I'm not sure if this is actually the way of doing it, but they preferred kicking the ads instead of always kicking the main witch. So. And it looks pretty decent. On this witch, when it's system melody, you have to keep on moving from the curse, but it also works to jump. You can also stone from the curse effect that she's casting, the mark. Stone from that. Stable runic mark. Actually not sure what it does even, but don't stack on anyone else, we always spread for it. And Sister Briar puts a lead on anyone that has to be healed above a 90%. So top them up or be an evoker, dispel them, paladin can bop them, or stone form. Watch out a bit with threat here as well. You may want to make sure to be melee and be ready to taunt it as transitions. Otherwise, it's gonna clap one of your the friends. And here we go, round 2. I don't think we have to see that. What we're doing now with everything cleared is we're just taking the courtyard. Make sure to be ready to pick these patrols up. It's a bit of a shit show. And these infected thorns hurt as well, and since I'm not a paladin or we have anything with, we don't have a comp with great amount of kicks, right? Gonna be chilling, and always only take like 1, I think. So we take 1 now, and I think I changed some poo-poo in this. Died, yeah. Got 1 pig, right? Would have obviously wanted a bit more, but here I was asking to cage the other one, but they're not listening, so they die, and we just played them. So we're having a shit show here. You can keep the mobs in the fire on this pool and they take some increased damage. I'm actually not sure how much, but how much she was taking from before. 200k. She's gonna be taking 1 million, but obviously not all from that. Should probably check in around how much damage is actually dealt there and how much you can deal by fire. But it definitely helps. As soon as the other caster is dead, I should be pulling more trash from inside. Yep, these maggots you want to try and stun when they all cast. Otherwise, you might kill someone. It can be real fucking naughty. You know. Thorn barrage is real quick. Kind of a bleed effect, but you cannot remove it. Can't remove it with stone form or anything else. And then she puts poop on the ground, which you have to dodge. At this point, I'm pretty sure we go boss. Yeah, getting a drink, then we go boss. They fixed the druids being able to pre-shape shift. They also fixed the shamans being able to have the talent to be ghost wolf, but you can still meta immune it, blink it. I'm sure blink is gonna be fixed though. At least I would think so. It might not, but I would think so. I also believe there is a pot. I've actually not tried this, but I believe there is a pot that is called, I don't have it on this character. I'm gonna look over real quick. I think I reset my stacks as a warrior around 35 maybe, and what I try to aim for is to do it precisely after we had a soul thorns, and then move out of melee, move back into melee. So basically split from the group, have the group stay, then go back. 20 stacks right now, and we obviously use lust for this boss. It feels like it's really nice to just have. You don't want to have to clear twice, or you do want to skip one phase of clearing. Let me see if I can find the pot now. Called Potion of Unhindered Passing. I don't think it's always gonna be something that you want to use all the time, but in scenarios of someone being dead, boss at 10 million left, have 2 DPS pre-potted, and then next time one gets it, either if they just die, then the next one dies as well, then it's on the healer, then they should pre-pot it, then they get it next and die as well, so forth. That way you can, solo potential is a lot higher. and keep moving away from these ghosts, they start smacking you afterwards, and then we get soul stones. So we cleared now how many stacks? Watch out to not run into a fire that is about to run out as well. Like you want to watch that it's been recently spawned. I actually don't know that, so you will argue that it doesn't. I would argue that it doesn't. But I don't know. Waycrest Manor here, do I? This is trash. Post fight. $1.70, 1.7 million though. That's a lot. What is this key scaling now? How much increased is it now? 28? But we're only clearing once. Turning into a long video now since I'm doing kind of research. Let's see. The 28 now. Killed by 929%, which means that it's 840 ish. 27. I don't know if those initial numbers line up. What am I thinking wrong? 6 seconds. Let's say if these numbers are right, yeah? 9.5 then. 10,500 times 6 seconds, that means 57,000 during the initial duration. Then you have scaling of 8.4. So that's 500k. Doesn't make any sense. And let's say it's at 40 stacks, that means actually I think it does. Numbers would add up somewhat, but then again they also have Versa and probably not CDR, DR. Could do that for practice test purposes. Because I don't know why it wouldn't scale with it, to be honest. Like, if it's not scaling with it. That was one clear and it was like 1.7. That's a lot. These pallet gorges you want to look out for. Gonna be one pull that you have to have two of them, but you might get double in them in another pull as well. They do a cast, which is a frontal cone. This switch, pick it or dodge it. You can outrange it, but don't just like dodge it and leave it for everyone else in melee to work out. They also do a jump, which applies a bleed. Kind of want to desync them, but if you're also good or lucky, you can also stun them at the precise right time, so they don't apply the bleed. But it's not as easy as berserkers in, for example. It is a bit harder to time it. These two, I just don't want too many of either, especially not on a fortified week. They're they throw meat and they fucking hurt. And I think a lot of people would argue as well that the way I'm playing this right now is a bit nuts in general throughout the entire run. I think most people would want to go slower, and you can. Timer isn't the best here because we went too slow at some places and had some mess as well. Got double gorgeous. I didn't want to get these now, which is why we're having a pretty trash pull. But it's also fine because we don't want to be wiping left and right on them. Devouring maggots infest, I think, is reasonable to kick. Actually, I can't remember what it. Okay, it spawns more maggots as well, so if we want to kick. Peasant, when it dies, it spawns 3 maggots, so got to try and get aggro on those. Then I got another pull from inside, just these. Going back out, getting the maggots up, and then trying to control the creation. I just completely missed. When is that even jumping? Jumping now. And these gorges are pretty toxic because they also can melee right after they jump. I don't know if that is because I've actually lost aggro or if there's something else. They don't necessarily, if I recall correctly, to a week back someone said that that their nameplates doesn't correctly change either, so another annoying thing. But you know these mobs now though, so let's just fast forward to this boss. Does a frontal now, he faces one direction, watch out for it, dodge to the side. It's kind of random. You don't have to die just because you stand in the frontal, but if you stand in the puddles where they spawn, you will probably die. Okay, level. There's a paladin here. I realized it's a bit messy when the duelers spawn, because if you use Divine Toll, then like pull those maggots and maggots in the other hallway. We might want to actually take them before. Two things in order to pick up. Also, do not step out of melee on this boss. If you step out of melee, it does follow whatever it's called, a massive AoE. So yeah, don't want that to cast. This is basically max range you can be at. Go much further. Whereas if they reach the boss, it can sometimes take a second. Them, I don't think it's the same cast, but it might actually be. Basically, it's the same thing. It should be a wipe if they reach the boss, and you can just try to control them, slow them down, stir them, stun them one by one. Of course, you can. And don't worry too much about them, but try to pick up pretty often, for the time at least, and keep on dodging this frontal. That's this boss. Now we're going to the kitchen. Bring the maggots, trying to set a stun up. There's a witch spawning here this week. Go to get aggro on her and try to get aggro on maggots as well. Might be a good thing. After that, we're gonna chain other smallies to the witch, which is probably not the best idea, to be honest. Just going slow. At a time. I think we're not gonna get more and just feel like a really cringe. Someone has edge on them and the maggot cast 500 maggot. Not great. I'll just take them now. We kill the maggots, then we go. Chained a bit, but this is also not a risky thing. And what we're doing is we're killing the partly to get rid of shade. People would argue this is simple as well, but I would not say so. Got edge going on, nothing else really. It's just the captain. So I don't think this is a crazy pull, it's just edge. Solo kick the volley, you can solo kick the captain. And spell effect to the cane touch, which high amount of damage. You can also chain this if something else is left alive, or already at that point you could have chained as long as you have enough kicks. Game mobs, not gonna spend much time on this. Really getting. Watch out for the maiden though, she does a different cast actually. Makes a runic blade, which I believe makes the god do magic damage on his slash from focus strike. Just otherwise physical. Runic Blade imbues the caster's weapon with a series of shadowy runes, causing melee attacks to inflict additional shadow. And then Runic Blade blinds the caster's weapon with jagged thorns. That might depend on who it is. Oh, and you definitely want to kick that because it's a mass sphere and mass damage. After this we go down, we cage the small witch just to have an easier time controlling the quest. And here again you could argue you kick the volley or the bolt. Volley shouldn't be a one shot, yet the bolt is. And the solar sensors have to be stopped as well because they will fucking hurt. This is a great key to play mass silence in the warrior. Move out of the candles, it's a damage reduction, but a pretty small area, so. Just chilling, got plenty of time. This boss you can do a lot of perfect damage on, but keep in mind they did something fucked up with spell effect, so it can go through. As you can see, I have spell effect up, shows right here, doesn't get consumed. What you also can do is leap away at these times, but I see bait right now. I'm pretty sure next one doesn't get consumed either. Spell effect, and I'm actually missing it. That's what's happening, because he's doing the other cast first. So first one you can pre-cast spell effect, second one as well, the third one you can't, not too much. That's the boss that's doing the other cast. As a paladin, for example, you can be on the very edge, and then you can Avengers shield Lady Waycrest to interrupt her cast. Got in a single spell. There I did. As you can see, it spikes up my damage quite a bit. Getting now 1 million instantly, and within a matter of seconds it goes up by an additional 2. So it's a lot of damage. Got that one as well. The virulent pathogen spread out and get dispelled. Dodge ground. When she comes down, happens 3 times by the way. When she comes down, she casts here, so you can kick her. And I would argue, at least in a combo, you can dispel the pathogen, that you would just focus Lady. This comp, you could argue that you should focus the Lord. Jump out to try to protect, but it still went through on me because I'm bad at the game. Simple as it is. These mobs are not enough now because I fucked up with my count again. I really dislike the way the count works and the routes we're doing in this dungeon right now. I would have to practice it a bit. But what we're doing is we're killing all the horrors, then we take the TP up and kill one ghost, which is the one that I would have recommended to get into first of all. This boss is fairly straightforward. Don't be too spread. Wait, I just gotta take a screenshot out of this. She was arguing that she was very much in melee. Hard to see how far away that actually is though. Kick the dark and lightning on the boss. I'm actually not sure what it does, but you can solo kick it as any tank, so just do. Death Lessons needs a stun or a knock. I think it's a channel on a target and they get stunned if it channels. Red Essence is a massive AoE on the group, and it's gonna be spawning light, basically light bottles in the back of the room. For example, that one. What you do is you walk over it, then you get an extraction button, and then you can throw it on the ghouls that has died, burn them, and they don't respawn. If you don't use it, they are going to keep on respawning. I do usually run out of stops on this fight, and you can probably pretty much focus boss in general. At least that's what we are doing. At least I think that's what they're doing. The Ogre is actually doing quite a lot of damage. Actually, without shield blocking. That's really, really cringe. Now we run up 6 as well, maybe 10, 15 seconds. 10 seconds probably. Gotta wait for the lady still to be here, then we just. And that's GG's. Thanks for watching. Hope you liked it.